Hey everybody, welcome to SEC Weekly. This is a Week 8 recap. I'm so sorry guys I didn't get out a Week 8 preview. I just got really busy. I'm trying to hold down 3 jobs and just ran out of time to do a preview video. So anyway, I will try my best to get a Week 9 preview and moving forward out to you guys. I apologize again. But anyway, we're going to keep moving forward with a Week 8 recap today, I believe, with Zach Walton is going to come on the show today and talk to us a little bit about the games that we had just watched this past week. So let's get both of them in here, Haden and Zach, and we'll get going.
Well, Ty.
Showtime, Mr. Hartgrove.
Yes, sir.
It just feel like it's been forever since we've been on here.
Yeah, I know. You know what else doesn't feel like forever?
What?
When Florida played Miami. And it's now Week 8. Or now we're headed into Week 9. Guys, this thing's almost over.
It really is. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's going by so fast. But then again, there's been a whole lot of games. It's just, I don't know. It feels like a fast year. And I haven't felt like this the past couple of years, I guess, but I don't know what it is, man. Maybe it's just that I'm working a lot and just not really thinking about it, but who knows?
And it's flying by. As Pat Ricky said to me this morning, you wait all year for football, and it comes and goes.
Time flies, buddy. Time flies.
Flies.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're going to be bringing in another heavily requested person, Zach Walton, my summer ball coach. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get him in here. Or you want to go over the rankings first, or
let's do that. Let's do that first.
Let's go over the rankings. Okay.
You start us off.
Okay, guys. My rankings this week are a little interesting and a little different from last week. Top spot for me this week is going to be LSU. I'm just really big on LSU right now. They're proving they're the best team in the nation. Hands down, I think when this first playoff ranking comes out, they're going to be in the top spot. It'd be hard to tell me they're not. I got Alabama at second. I mean, that's an obvious. Florida, third, still the same. Auburn, I moved Auburn up to fourth after watching Georgia. I'll get into Georgia later. I moved Georgia back to fifth. A&M switched spots with Missouri. A&M moves up to sixth. Missouri moves back to seventh after losing to Vanderbilt. I got South Carolina staying at eighth. Ole Miss at ninth. Tennessee 10th. Mississippi State 11th. Moved Vandy up to 12th after their big win against Missouri. But, guys, Vanderbilt, Kentucky, and Arkansas are just so bad this year. I mean, Tennessee started out the year terrible. They're proving they've got some life in them. But, guys, Kentucky and Arkansas are terrible. And the guy, those of y'all know Zach. Zach's a big Arkansas fan. He's the biggest one I know. And
oh, my goodness.
We're bringing him in here today, guys. So it's going to be good.
It's going to be fun. I literally, like, this I know zero Arkansas fans. Zero. Man, let me go over my list here, and I'll, like I said, I'll put both of these on the screen. Mine's pretty similar. The top 4 I have a little different. I didn't move Georgia out of 4, and I'll tell you why. They didn't look great. Obviously, they struggled to throw the ball, but I mean, I don't know if you watched a lot of these games, man, in depth, but it was an ugly weekend as far as weather goes.
Yeah.
And when you have a quarterback or not even a quarterback, but an offense that struggles to throw the ball in general, you add wet balls to that, and it's just not. It's not going to come out of the hand right. It's not going to come out. It's just going to be tough for the receivers to catch it. It's just it's a tough thing to do whenever you're not a throwing offense like Georgia is not. So I kept them where they were. A three possession win over a bad Kentucky team in the pouring down rain. So I kept Auburn at 5. South Carolina, I have them at 6, and I'll explain why. Is because they are two bad calls away from either winning that game against Florida or at least keeping it in a game. I mean, we saw the refs just blow 2 games that really could have been better games and made them into 2-possession blowouts. I wouldn't say blowout, but a 2-possession game late. And like I said, we'll get into those in a little bit. Arkansas and Vandy, I have at the bottom, and I have Kentucky at 12. And here's the reason why I have that. I moved Vandy up a spot because of their win. It was a big win against a Missouri team that just like they didn't really want to be there. But Kentucky has been injury ridden, and I don't want to penalize them quite to that extent. Yeah, dropping them down a whole lot because they can't help that. I mean, Vanderbilt and Arkansas, they can't help that. Their whole team's healthy. They're just really, really bad. But you know, that's my top 14 and the rankings. So anyway, let's get this guy on here, man. I'm interested to talk to the Arkansas fan. I ain't gonna lie to you.
All right.
Rough days.
Ty?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Zach, you in here? Zach. Oh, my gosh.
Is he not answering?
Yeah,
Is he not?
guys, no, he is, but my phone does not let me merge calls for some reason.
It did the last time. Send me his number and I'll see if I can do it. Excuse our technical difficulties here, guys. We're trying to get these worked out for y'all. Meanwhile, let's do a contest just for the heck of it because I'm bored and don't feel like keeping you guys waiting here. Contest is going to be this. I want somebody to drop me in the comments, and it can be your choice. Who do you think has the best mascot? Now I'm talking about like mascot, like Smokey, Uga, the Commodore of Vanderbilt, like just mascot alone. Who has the best mascot? Let me know in the comments who you guys think that is. I know you're going to be wanting to be biased, but I can't be biased, man. I think Smokey's the best. That's just me. I'm not really a UT fan. I like cheer for him, I guess, because I live here. But anyway, are you still on here, Haden?
Okay, Ty.
Yeah.
I sent you this guy's number. I cannot merge calls. Every
Okay.
week this happens when I try to merge a call.
Yeah, I'll bring him on here, and I'll just
Okay.
As soon as he answers, I'll merge it. You just say hello.
Okay.
Yellow.
Zach, you in here now?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, sorry about that, guys. That took way longer than it should have.
That's all right.
Anyways, Zach, go ahead and tell everybody who you're a fan of. I've already let them know about Arkansas, but tell us how you fell in love with Arkansas and how you look forward to baseball season every year.
Yeah. At this point, I'm just ready for track and field and baseball season. The two sports that we're actually worth the damn at. My family's all from up around the Fayetteville area. My family has a lake house about an hour outside Fayetteville and Bull Shoals, and my whole family's from around that area, right? I've had, cousins that were on the cheer squad there. One of my cousins is actually dating Jarius Wright, an ex-football player from Arkansas who plays for the Carolina Panthers now. My Uncle Joe's big boosters at the university. Just kind of, grew up around the program, and I blame my father for making me emotionally invested at this point.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, but like you said, definitely ready for baseball season. Basketball should be, we'll be decent. But yeah, just ready for anything other than football at this point.
All right, guys.
Let me ask you this, Zach. Are you missing Brett Bielema yet, sir?
At this point, I'm missing Houston Nutt.
Oh man, that's a long time ago. Okay.
Yeah, I'm old. I remember the days when we had Darren McFadden and Felix Jones, and we're winning and having successful years year in and year out. So like you said, it's been a long time ago.
Yeah, people don't understand, guys. Arkansas used to be, as far as running backs go, like LSU. There was somebody in there every single year that would just put up monster numbers, and it's just gotten to the point where like it's just gone away.
Yep, for sure. Well, you had obviously you had a different regime when you brought in Petrino. Obviously a completely different offensive mindset. Hell, his teams were good. I mean, we had 2 10-win years in a row under Petrino, and I think people forget about that. With we had some of the best wide receivers in the country there for a couple of years in a row, and Ryan Mallett and Tyler Wilson, who were very good quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, people forget that at one point in time we had Darren McFadden, Felix Jones, and Peyton Hillis all in the same backfield. So I'm hoping to get back to those days.
You're not
at some point, but in the realistic sense, who knows when that's going to happen?
Yeah.
So, I try to be. I'm a huge fan. Haden knows that as much as anybody, but I also try to be a realistic fan. So, it is what it is at this point.
Right. Well, Haden, take off, brother.
Sadly, Arkansas didn't make the top 5 this week. But we did cover 5th game of the week. We got Tennessee, Alabama. Ty, you can go ahead and give us your thoughts on this one.
All right, man. I've heard so many people continue to tell me, well, I tell you what, if we had our quarterback in there and we had the refs call a fair game, we might have even had a chance to win it. Let me tell you right now, like, people forget it's Alabama. It's Nick Saban is going to find a way to win that game. Even if everything goes UT's way, I just don't see that happening. But there's not a whole lot to say, man. I mean, you throw a guy out there in Garantano, because first of all, before I go any further, Maurer has got to stay healthy. I mean, he just has to. If he wants to start next year and he wants to be the guy moving forward, he has to stay on the daggum field. You can't continue to get hurt game after game and expect to be the man and the guy moving forward. They threw Garantano out there, and he didn't play terrible throughout the game, really didn't. He was managing the game well. Tennessee got some running game going. But, man, I'm telling you, with 8 minutes left in the game and you decide that you want to be a hero and ignore the call, which is a left run play off tackle that was called, and you decide to audible to a quarterback sneak on your own. And I guarantee you, what was going through Garantano's head right there, y'all, was I can be the hero again. I can have everybody love me again. If I somehow get this across the goal line and we end up playing good and beating Alabama, I'm going to be the man again. And you just can't do that. That's just a me guy. That's just somebody that's thinking about himself. And at this point, I don't think Garantano should take another snap at UT. I don't care if Maurer goes down. You throw somebody else in there. You have a guy that's about himself. He doesn't need to be in the game. Sorry. But it was a sloppy game. 2 backup quarterbacks in. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say.
Zach, go ahead and tell us what you thought about this game. I know you watched it.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing that stands out for me is Alabama seems to be a completely different team, obviously, when Tua is out. I mean, we all know how good Tua is. That goes without saying. But it's interesting to me moving forward, how Alabama adjusts and how long is Tua really going to be out? That's obviously a huge question coming out of this game for me. Watching the game, I thought Maurer did a pretty good job, obviously. And then big takeaway for me is if Garantano doesn't go rogue and they score that touchdown, because he could. I mean, looking at it from the overview, you could see the running back was going to walk into the end zone had he ran the play like it was supposed to be ran. I mean, the left guard pulled, they had the edge sealed, and it was an easy touchdown if Garantano was did what he should have done and hand the ball off. So at that point, it's going to be 28-20. If UT kicks the extra point, and it's a whole different ball game at that point. So I mean, to be honest, I was pretty impressed with the way that UT kind of stuck around, hung around, and gave themselves a chance there at least to be in the ball game late. That's a huge takeaway. Obviously, Tua being out for quite a bit of the game helped. But and then again with the referees calling a fair game and this and that. I mean, like Ty said, you're at Alabama. What do you expect? I mean, let's just go ahead and be 100% honest about that. The SEC, and I'm not a huge conspiracy guy whatsoever, but a lot of this, I think you have to understand, is about money. And having two teams in a college football playoff makes the SEC exponentially more money. So you got to take that into account, I think. And then, Tennessee just isn't quite there yet. So that's kind of my opinion on it. I think they obviously did a lot of really good things. They're just not quite there yet. I think Coach Pruitt is heading in the right direction. I love the 3 timeout calls there at the end of the half, and the kicker misses the field goal. I love it. After every timeout, you could see Pruitt. He would call timeout and immediately get in the official's ear and let him have it. And he'd walk away, and then he'd come back, call another timeout, get in the official's ear, and let him have it. I loved it. I was really impressed with UT, to be honest. So I think they're kind of headed in the right direction as far as getting behind Pruitt and doing things the right way and getting better. I think you can see the progression there.
My thoughts on this game, Tennessee side, I liked how they come out and they didn't back down. They played hard. The past few years I feel like Tennessee's laid down in front of Alabama. I mean, they just haven't even been able to compete, and they were competitive throughout the game. Maurer, we talked about it our last video we made. They had to play Maurer, and I was thinking they did too, and just to have a chance to win this game. But him coming off that injury, was it the smartest thing to do? Probably not, but you just had to play him. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him this week. Will he be ready to go against South Carolina? I don't know. I would say probably not. Pruitt didn't really discuss it much in the interview today in his press conference. But Garantano, oh my God, I swear, the guy is – I mean, like I said, Ty, I was thinking about that. He got to the line. He was like, hey, now's my time, guys. My time to shine.
Oh. I'm
going to be the hero. And that play right there wraps up his whole career at Tennessee. That is his play. I don't think he's going to take another snap at Tennessee. You saw, I'm pretty sure all y'all saw what Pruitt's reaction was with him on the sideline. After that, I'd say their relationship is over. If I was Pruitt, if Shrout couldn't get the job done, I'd put Jawan Jennings back there and be Kentucky, because I would not let Garantano play another snap for me. Rutgers, you can have him. Go back to the hometown up there in New Jersey, and you can play for Rutgers in that area.
He'll be up there with Butch Jones next year anyway, so it'll be fine.
Yeah,
I hope to God Rutgers hires Butch Jones.
And let me. That's one thing too. Talking about the relationship between JG and Pruitt. Let me be very honest with you about one thing. Being an ex-college athlete, coaches have a relationship with you if you're winning and you're helping the team win. They don't have a relationship with you if you're not doing anything for them. That's their job. That's their livelihood. So that's why, again, Pruitt is so mad at JG. Obviously, I think, Pruitt is a guy who cares about the athletes. I think you have to be when you're coaching at that level. But, again, don't get it twisted. That is Pruitt's livelihood, and he wants to win because he knows if he doesn't, then he's not going to keep his job.
Yep.
And so if you're a player and you're helping a team win, coaches love you. If you're a player and you're costing them games, they hate you. That's period.
Especially against Alabama. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you pull that against, South Carolina or something, you're still going to be ticked off.
Yep.
You do that against Alabama, Pruitt, that makes it 100 times worse.
Yeah.
Big takeaway on Alabama's side is what's Tua's status. He had surgery yesterday. Says he's going to be back for the LSU game, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, I'd say it's going to happen. He's got to play against LSU.
If LSU plays Alabama without Tua, they will get ran off the field.
Yep.
Ran off the field.
I think at that point you got to think about burning Tua's little brother, his red shirt. They're trying to red shirt him right now, but I just don't think Mac Wilson gives you a chance to beat LSU at all.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't see how in the world, unless Tua can't walk, he's not going to play in I'm calling it the game of the decade. There's no way in the world, and like I said, if he can't walk, he's going to be playing in this football game. There's no way he's not.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, guys. You got to think about this. I mean, Clemson's winning out. Oklahoma's winning out.
Yep.
And if Ohio State can beat Penn State, they're winning out. So
Yep.
that game might be to decide who makes the playoff.
Yep.
So I mean, that's my opinion on it.
Let's talk about the Swap Fest, Georgia, Kentucky. I'm gonna go ahead and start this one because I've got a lot to say. Guys, we can talk about the weather all we want, but poor old Jake Fromm and his passing offense. Oh man. Those of y'all that don't know, Fromm threw for 35 yards in this game. 35 yards. Now, guys, I'm going to throw some names out there. And I'm sure if you didn't watch this game, the weather was pretty bad. Matter of fact, it was terrible. But I'm going to throw a few names out there. Burrow, Fields, Tua, Hurts. You put those guys in those conditions against a Kentucky defense, they at least crack 140. At least. Now, their offenses are a little bit different, especially Jalen Hurts and Tua. I mean, it's just – and Burrow. But, guys, what in the world is wrong? I mean, at 35 yards? Guys, I played quarterback in the 6th grade in the wing tee, and I threw for more than 35 yards each game. That's not a lot. That's not a lot. Guys, I don't understand it. Swift ran for 179 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, I'm speechless. And I'm not even a Georgia fan, but I get frustrated when I have to talk about Georgia. I mean, it kills me watching them with a good quarterback and just not being able to do anything. I was watching this game with my dad, and I said, they would run the ball. And I was like, and he was like, well, it's the rain. I said, I mean, yeah, that's part of it, but watch them any other day. It's a run, 5-yard out. Run, swing pass. Run, bubble. Guys, it's going to cost them in some games. Georgia fans, you can say all you want. Hey, you're going to beat Auburn. You're going to beat A&M. If you don't figure out how to throw the ball downfield, use some of your athletes that you have in all your top 3 recruiting classes, you're not going to win these games. I'm sorry. You've got to be able to throw the football in the SEC.
I'm telling you right now, that Auburn game is not a guarantee.
No.
Their D-line's too good.
But that's all I got to say on that one. Zach, you can talk about this one.
Well, I mean, I didn't watch a ton of this to be honest with you. I was too busy trying to win a golf tournament on behalf of Haden and Hudson this weekend. So
awesome.
Shout out to Anderson County Baseball.
And we got heat and air thanks to everybody who showed up.
That's right. Gotta love it. I had a good time though. No, so I didn't get to see a ton of it. I saw the end of it. My thing is why are they so afraid to kind of take the governor, so to speak, off of Jake Fromm? You know, I mean, I thought there were some times early in the year that people were like, well, this guy's a Heisman candidate. And then all of a sudden it was like Haden said, okay, we're going to run, 5-yard out, screen pass, you know, quick 3-step drop, just I don't know. I don't really understand it. I feel like Fromm is better than that. I don't know if the South Carolina game scared him because he threw a couple interceptions, but again, one of I think 2 of those were not his fault. The good throws are on the money that receivers didn't make plays on. So that's kind of my thing is why not just let it go? And then like you said, the rain, I get it. You're trying to keep the ball on the ground. You don't want to lose a game because they're doing something stupid in the air when it's raining like that. But again, at what point do you take the governor off? And then, my next thing is, and it's going to be an interesting take, but I'm going to throw it out there, is Kirby Smart the next Mark Richt? And so, I mean, obviously, if you see the stat, they have the same record through the amount of games they've coached so far through 3+ years.
Yeah, I saw that. That was crazy.
Whatever it is. But, ever since his first year going to the national title game, I mean, they've found a way to lose a game they shouldn't lose, which is kind of what Mark Richt's MO was when he was there. They would win 10 games a year, but just couldn't quite get over the hump because they couldn't beat Alabama when they played them once every few years from the West, or they lost a game like they did last weekend in South Carolina. So that's my take from the game is, if you're Kirby Smart at this point, what do you got to lose? Take the governor off, open up the offense a little bit, and see what happens. Because you're not going to get anywhere unless you do that. I don't think. That's just again, that's my opinion, but that's my take on it.
Right. Well, I'm telling you guys, man, like Kirby Smart, like we can preach about Georgia on here all day long, and Georgia fans can holler and and go crazy about on Kirby all the time about passing the ball. But I genuinely think, guys, he is okay with coming out, running the ball 462 times a game, going back to his recliner, firing up a Cuban, and sitting in and just sitting there and thinking, well, we won.
Yeah.
And I really think he thinks that that's okay.
Well,
at
this point, this is sorry to interrupt, but
you're good.
Quick point. In the SEC East right now, let's just be 100% honest, other than playing Florida in a couple of weeks, what else does he have to do?
Oh, I know it.
Maybe that's part of it. Maybe he's not one to open up the offense because he doesn't want to show Auburn and Alabama and those teams that he thinks he's going to play in the future everything they've got. I don't know, but that's my, again, just a quick thought off the top of my head there.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing that it is, I watching this game 2 quarters in. I mean, I looked at my buddy that I was watching the game with, and I said, Kentucky's not scoring this game. Like, they might kick a field goal, but they're not getting the ball in the end zone. Their offense is not putting points up, and they didn't. And so that's another reason. Like if I'm Jake Fromm or I'm Kirby Smart, I'm sitting there thinking, let's go out a drive and not run the ball one time. And if we go 3 and out and can't complete a pass and can't get a first down, we'll just punt it back to them because they're not going to score. They're not scoring. Our defense is shutting down whatever Wildcat crap they're running.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's even another reason to open up the offense. Now, granted, they didn't blow Kentucky out by 30 or 40 points because of the weather, like I said. But, I don't have a whole lot of thought in this game. Kentucky, they're done. Kentucky's done. And it's not really their fault. Injuries have killed them.
Yeah.
But they're cooked. I mean, I'm sitting there looking at their schedule, guys, and it's they'll beat Tennessee, Martin, and Vanderbilt. But they're losing. I think they're losing to Tennessee and they're losing to Missouri. And I think Louisville's going to beat them. I really do.
Yeah. I think Vanderbilt's got a chance of beating them, too, after the way they played against Missouri this last week. I don't know how good Missouri is. They haven't really, in my opinion, they haven't really played a whole lot of anybody. They lose the first game of the year to Wyoming, and then you rattle off 5 wins in a row against, again, teams that they probably should beat. So I think we'll find out here in the few coming weeks is Missouri any really that good at all or not, with their schedule coming up as well. But I think the way Vandy played against, Missouri, you can't count them out against Kentucky either.
Yeah. And I got a few more things to say. First of all, on Georgia, I was very high on Georgia at the early part of the year. Now I've just lost all hope in Georgia of doing anything. I mean, might as well just get ready for the Orange Bowl at this point. Because, I don't even understand it. I thought Georgia was going undefeated. I did. I really thought they'd go undefeated. And
I know you did.
Yeah, I was huge on them. And that was back in September. Now here we are, middle October, and they're probably going to look at 10-2 season. And well, I don't know, but anyway, Kentucky. I want to talk about Kentucky. Like I said, Kentucky really can't help it. Terry Wilson is a very good quarterback, and losing him killed them. Sawyer Smith is a garbage can, and now they've got their best receiver playing quarterback, so it's just downhill for Kentucky. And now they're back to
side note. Sawyer Smith is healthy, and they're not playing him over receiver.
Yeah.
Can we just for a minute?
Yeah. They keep running this stuff like, oh, he's not quite ready. He's ready. They just don't want to play him.
I mean, he's how degrading does it have to be an SEC quarterback and sit over there and watch a receiver play your position? Goodness, man. Oh, that's rough.
Well, imagine being an Arkansas fan and knowing they're going to come out and just nothing but run the ball, and you still give up over 300 yards rushing and lose to a Kentucky team after you go up 13-0 in the first half. So let's talk about being an Arkansas fan for a second here, okay?
I forgot about that game last week.
Yeah. That to me is that to me is like, that's coaching at that point.
Oh,
that's
it's so coaching.
That's not getting your defense, or it's not getting yourself ready to play. To me, at that point, or not having a solid game plan in place to where, hey, all we're going to do is put 10 guys in the box and play man-to-man across the board. If you can throw against us, then go for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's move on to Texas A&M at Ole Miss.
Hey, real quick, Haden, don't be afraid to let this thing go. If I need to end the call and call you guys back, I will.
That's fine.
Okay, just want to let you guys know. Go ahead.
Yeah. You get to start here.
I'm starting?
Yeah.
What game are we on? I'm sorry.
We're on A&M at Ole Miss.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't watch a whole lot of this game.
Neither did I.
It was just one of those games like, I mean.
Yeah.
Ole Miss, though, like, you see, like, flashes of them, and you're thinking, okay, well, they could be a decent team. But yet again, they run John Reese Plumlee. Or, no, I'm sorry, they run Matt Corral out there. And I don't know if you saw the show, Zach, last week about in my rant on Ole Miss. I'm not going to get into that again because I don't have the energy right now to do it. But, I mean, you would have thought I was an Ole Miss fan the way I was acting last week. But it just baffles me. It baffles me because you have a young guy that wants to be the man and has shown that he can actually make plays, and you're just killing his confidence. And it's showing in his stats. His stats are going down because he's not getting the playing time that he needs. He's not getting the snaps that he needs. He's coming in and running the Wildcat, and it's just like, man, like, just give him the ball. Like, just give him the ball. And the thing is, Matt Corral comes back in, and what happens, Haden?
I believe he threw 2 picks.
I mean, he threw 1 pick for sure.
Oh, 1 pick, yeah.
But he comes back in, and guess what happened? They lost their last 2 games.
Yep.
I mean, the proof's in the pudding. John Reese Plumlee goes to Vanderbilt or plays Vanderbilt at home and beats them 31-6. Matt Corral comes back off an injury and they lose to Missouri. Then they go to lose to Texas A&M. And by the way, not a very good Texas A&M team.
Yeah.
So I
Two
mean,
games they
like,
could have won.
I don't know what else you're looking for here, Matt Luke. I mean, I really don't. I don't know what else you want. So keep running the wrong guy out there. You won't be there long, I promise. As far as Kellen Mond goes, Jesus, man, what a friggin' bust. I thought that Kellen Mond was going to have an absolute breakout year. And I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's Jimbo Fisher. It's just A&M just looks like a different team this year. I was really thinking they were going to take another step this year and be like the third best team in the West, but they just haven't. I mean, they just haven't looked like it at all. But yeah, I don't have a whole lot. I don't have a whole lot on the game alone, but Mississippi, you heard it here first. You keep running the wrong guy out there, you'll just keep losing. So,
well, I think Matt Luke, I think Chad Morris, I think some of those guys are just in over their head. That's just my personal opinion on those guys. I don't think Jimbo Fisher necessarily is in over his head. Obviously, he's won at Florida State. That's clear. I agree. I expected a lot more out of A&M this year. You just feel like a guy like Jimbo is going to come in and make a difference fairly quickly, and I feel like he made a bigger difference last year than he has this year so far. Again, I think you got to give him a couple years to get a full rotation of his recruits in, and then like next year and that fourth year are going to be really telling to me as far as Jimbo Fisher goes. I mean, you've got the best facilities in the country. You're in Texas. Like, you can't tell me you can't recruit and can't win at Texas A&M. That's just, there's no way you cannot win there. So that's just, again, my opinion. But I think Luke and I think Chad Morris and, I think there's a few of the guys. Those two in particular are really just kind of in over their head at this point.
Yeah. I didn't watch 3 snaps of this game, but I watched the highlights, and I'm just clueless as to what Matt Luke's doing. I mean, like I said, do guys go out there, like, what do the SEC coaches think? Like, some of the stuff that they think, like, yeah, let's roll this Carroll kid out here. I mean, the way Plumlee's played, I really enjoyed watching him play against Alabama and watching him play against Vanderbilt. Runs it and throws it very good. I think I mentioned this in the last video, guys. He was committed to go play at Georgia. I mean, the kid's a good quarterback, good football player, and I'd say some Georgia fans would take him right now. But man, more on the A&M side, they get a win, but not a very good win. Did not look impressive. I had A&M being the second best team in the West. I was high on A&M early on, back in the days when I would set my phone up and make videos in the dining room table. I predicted A&M to go 11-1, and their only loss to beat Alabama. I really, really liked A&M, and then here came LSU by surprise. A&M didn't look good against Clemson. Guys, this team went from 11th in the country to not even ranked. They're not ranked anymore. And, I mean, it's crazy to think about, but Kellen Mond just not had the season everyone expected him to have. He's got the most experience in college football out of anybody, and just still is mediocre. But like Zach said, I think there's going to be better days to come at A&M because, I mean, who wouldn't want to play at Kyle Field and, the atmosphere they have week in, week out, and the facilities down there, and Texas has got everybody in there. I mean, I don't even know what they feed kids in Texas that play football, but it's something. But let's move on to LSU at Mississippi State. Another great game. I'll go ahead and start. LSU had a slow start to this game. Just looked sluggish early, and then Joe Burrow said, "All right, it's time to go," and he finished with 327 yards, 4 touchdowns. although Clyde Edwards did not have the best game rushing. He's been having some good games the past few weeks, but it didn't look great. And a guy that we don't talk enough about, as much as we talk about LSU, is Justin Jefferson. The guy is a very good receiver, and we always like to talk about the quarterbacks, the running backs, but Justin Jefferson is, I don't want to say his top target because Chase is very good, but he's right up there with everybody. Cause, I mean, he gets lost in all the SEC receivers. You know, you got Judy, Devontae Smith, Ruggs, Jalen Waddle, Jadarius Chase. That's his name, right? I can't say his first name. But Mississippi State just could not compete with LSU. Garrett Schrader has to do it all in this offense now. I don't know where Kylan Hill has disappeared to. 34 yards against LSU. Didn't play good against Tennessee. Had a monster start to the year, but has completely fell off the map when they've had to play SEC teams. But that's all I got to say. LSU continues to roll, and Joe Burrow is the Heisman favorite right now, in my opinion.
Yep. I would agree with that, Haden, for sure, on the Heisman pick. Especially with Tua getting hurt.
Yeah. Zach, you got anything to say about this one?
I didn't watch a ton of it. I watched a little bit of it, obviously. I mean, obviously LSU came out a little slow. You know, cool atmosphere at Mississippi State. They've got a very underrated stadium and atmosphere, I think, within the SEC. So you come out and weather the storm, that Mississippi State comes out with, and they're, high on emotion and ready to go. And they, again, kind of weather that. Burrow gets settled in and does what he does. I just don't think there's any defense right now in the country that can stop them, really. Or, you can try to contain them a little bit, but you're not going to completely stop them, not in my opinion. Alabama will be fun to watch here in a few weeks. I think, as good as Alabama is, obviously, I think their defense is very, suspect, especially to an offense as good as and somebody that can throw the ball like Joe Burrow. That's kind of been their weakness so far this year's been their secondary. So that's going to be a fun matchup to watch, obviously. I mean, just, like I said, didn't watch a ton of it. Kind of figured that's how it would come out. I was a little surprised that Mississippi State kept it so close there in the first half. But again, Burrow comes out in the second half and settled down and does what he does. So that's kind of about all I have to say about it. Just typical performance by a team that's just better than Mississippi State.
Okay, I'll wrap us up on this game, and then I'll have to call you guys back. We're running out of time on this live, so I'll call you guys back and we'll do that last game. Okay. So let me finish this up real quick. As far as LSU goes, Joe Burrow takes care of the ball, and he spreads the ball out too. That's one thing that I think as a Heisman candidate you see it almost all the time as far as the quarterback goes. In this game, Jefferson 89 yards, McMath 76 yards, Moss 48 yards, Chase 48 yards, Dillon 37 yards, Edwards-Helaire 15 yards. I mean, he just gives the ball to everybody, and you see that a lot with good quarterbacks and guys that are able to spread the ball out. As far as Mississippi State goes, they just don't have the offense to compete with LSU. They just don't, especially when LSU's defense decides they want to come play. So to me, that I just didn't see them even having the chance in this game because I knew LSU was going to put up close to 40, and they did. So it's just going to be a rough year for Mississippi State, and I think they're not sold on their coach either, which that's definitely not where you want to be. I don't think Moorhead's the guy. I really don't. Austin King, if you're listening to this, I don't think Moorhead's your guy. I just don't. Beginning of the season, he was telling me how he thinks Moorhead just needs time, but
he needs to get fired.
Yeah, I know it. Anyway, that's really all I got on that game. Let me hop off here, guys. I will call you guys right back, all right?
All right.
All right. Hayden, are you back?
Yep.
Let me get Zach on there.
All right.
I'm here.
All right. Give us that last game, Hayden.
All right. Florida at South Carolina. I'll keep this quick. I'll go ahead and start. Kyle Trask played fairly well. He threw for 200 yards, 21 for 33. Did throw the interception. It was another sloppy game weather-wise in Columbia. Florida did run the ball well. Perine had 68 yards. Damian Pierce had 87 yards. But South Carolina Helinski didn't really play that great. But Feaster, the guy, no one really talks about him, but Tavian Feaster is an animal. He had 175 yards and 25 carries on Saturday. Pretty good game for him. But I didn't really get to watch a ton of this game due to the fact of the golf tournament. So, Ty, you can go ahead and give us your thoughts.
All right. I'm about to get a little riled up here, guys.
I heard the refs were really bad too. So
just bear with me. SEC football, you are going to have games that come down to the wire, and these players, man, they're so good that and the schemes they run, they're so good that a one bad call late can literally change a game from the inside out. There were two calls that I swear was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Tyree Cleveland, I think this was right before half or maybe right after half. Tyree Cleveland, receiver for Florida, is literally running next to the ball carrier, holding a guy by his shoulder pads with his right arm, running with the running back, and just blatantly holding the guy while – okay, every eye in a football stadium is locked on the guy with the ball, especially in open field on a break-loose run. There is no way a ref, whatever five wants to see it, misses that call. There's no way. I'm sitting there thinking that is absolutely unbelievable. And I'm on the same boat as Zach with the I'm not into conspiracy theory. I'm really not. But I don't, and I never will. I don't understand how you miss that blatant of a call. I just don't. It baffles me. And I'm not a South Carolina fan, but you have a guy. I mean, you're sitting there, you know. And granted, you're in Columbia, but you're sitting there in a game, man, late, and having a chance to knock off a top 10 team right after you knock off a top 5 Georgia team or a top 10 Georgia team. So I mean, like, if South Carolina comes out and wins both those games, man, I mean, they're sitting there thinking, like, if we have a chance to make this season, like, worthwhile, but you take them out of the game because the ref makes a bad call, and that's just one bad call that I'm talking about. The other one was a absolute pick play on the 5-yard line. They run a cross pattern with twins right. They run a cross pattern, and the dude didn't even run a route. I'm talking came out of a stance and just literally ran and blocked the linebacker. Just blocked him. Just flat out blocked him.
Yeah.
And Muschamp, I literally thought was going to pass out on the sideline. I thought he was. I really thought he's literally about to pass out. He's so mad.
I saw the video.
And after the game, and this is so true, he said that, you know, he went off on the refs, and they asked him about the unsportsmanlike penalty. He said, you know, I did say some things that probably warrant a unsportsmanlike penalty. But he said, you know, after I said all that, the guy walked 40 feet away from me, and then dropped the flag. and then said unsportsmanlike conduct. He said, "You want to flag me for unsportsmanlike conduct? You lay it at my daggum feet, and then tell me it's an unsportsmanlike conduct. You don't walk away and then throw a flag. It's gutless." And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, I understand why he's that mad. I really do, because it's one thing if you get beat by a good team and they just outplay you, kind of like Mississippi State, LSU. LSU just outplayed them. They just beat them in every aspect of the game, and they just got beat by a team that was better than them. But when you're sitting there in a game and literally one bad call is changing the complexion of the game, you just sit there like, man, what do you do? What do you do? My dad has a theory, guys, and then I'll wrap up. I want you guys to tell me what you think about this theory, okay? 0 in-play penalties. So you have false starts, you have offsides, you have unsportsmanlike stuff after plays or before play or whatever. Everything in the pen, like holding, pass interference, it's a friggin' free for all. Like, you can literally do anything. You can like anything. My dad told me that would take away a lot of grief. Everybody can just say, okay, well, we didn't get it done today. And, I'm thinking there'll be a riot on the field or something like that. But you think about it, you want to try to take it away from the ref's hands. You don't want to put it in the hands of the referees. You just don't. But so, like I said, these players, man, they're so good. These teams, any given day, you can be in a game with somebody. Any given day. So you just hate to see a team get beat by the refs. And that's what happened. I mean, it's just blatantly what happened.
I tell you what, they've been up to something this over the week. They might have cheated the lines out of that Green Bay game, but Rodgers did shred the lines with his scout team receivers. Anyways,
Hayden had to drop that Green Bay comment in there.
You already know.
Yeah, I can catch balls thrown by Aaron Rodgers.
Anyways, guys, Todd is another big. I think that's the end of the show, correct?
Yeah, I mean, unless you have anything else.
I've got some big news. We got some big news coming.
I'm nervous.
Kyle, I have to get with you after the show.
Oh God.
We don't need to get this out. We don't need to get this out to the public yet. But this is some huge news. I gotta let you know.
You're not gonna. That's how you're gonna say? You're gonna leave me hanging with that?
Kyle, I'm gonna call you as soon as the show ends.
Okay. You can't say that with me on the line. Hey,
I know. Zach's literally like.
I have to tune in whenever we get this preview out. We've got a huge video coming. We might have to make it into one video. Big news.
Will.
You gotta let me know,
guys.
No,
this
Tony,
channel's gonna blow up. No, I can't tell you, Zach. I can call you, but I cannot tell you. I cannot get this out to 41 people that are gonna watch the video.
Oh my God! I'm dead.
By the way, speaking of bad quarterback play, the Jets just turned the ball over again. Sam Darnold did. It's now 24-0 Patriots.
He's had mono.
You need to get mono again. All right, fellas. We'll wrap it up then. Zach, you're the man. Thanks for coming on, dude. It's good to have you.
Hey, I appreciate the invite, man. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed it.
Awesome. All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys soon. Like and subscribe. Get this video out. Everybody listening to me right now, get this video out. I want more people on this daggum channel.
Guys, let's play. They're going to be coming. Believe me. There's going to be some coming this next video.
I hope you're right. All right, guys.
Hayden,
we'll talk to
y'all.
We'll talk to y'all soon. See you.
I'll see you Wednesday, Zach. All right, see y'all.
See you.